and welcome to TrailDog at a forest. This is Green Hill. This is an interesting one. It's got 66 meter of descent and 38 meters of climbing, as you can see on that little thing that just vanished. Graphic hotbar, I don't know. And yeah, I'd class this actually as a climb because there's a fair amount of climbing in it, but you're rewarded with some descending as well, so it's a nice one, and probably one of my favorite sections on this trail. In fact, probably one of my favorite that I've filmed so far. So it's yeah. Anyway, a forest, which is where we at. Wow, ghetto. And where we are at the moment is a forest. You will have to excuse me, there's going to be some talking noises from the main video. This is of course a voiceover, and I did talk a few times, but I can't remember where I actually did talk like there. Thank you, me. Right, in the last video I mentioned about the wind farm diversion at the top. It's the edge is the section. The edge and Nil Desperandum are both cut out of the current trail, and they're replaced with I've called it wind farm diversion. I can't remember. There is a genuine name for it, and it's slipped my mind. It's definitely on the map on the map on the wall at the visitor center at A Forest. So if you're riding the trail, it will be there. I will try my best to actually find out what it's called before we get to it on the videos, but luckily I've got a few to go. Now, fire roads. Oh, that was some nasty noises from the bike. A Forest is, yeah, fire roads, as I said. A Forest is quite okay for fire roads. It's got a few of them in there. 3 ones off the top of my 4. The section leading into the trails from the visitor center is technically fire road, but I'm not going to count that for now. Once we do this section, Green Hill, we're onto the Nockenshank Fire Road, which is actually pretty long. You can cut that whole thing out and just carry straight on instead of going up the red on, and that's basically the blue. That's the rest of the blue. That's a bit boring, really. But the Nockenshank Fire Road is quite far. It's quite a long one. And interesting, there's the name comes from a house that's up there. It's on the map as Nockenshank, so I don't know if that's the actual name, but it's a house someone actually lives in the middle of a forest. They seem to get in and out through fire roads. That must be horrible in the winter. Anyway, the second major fire road section is after Brownburn Bash. We're climbing up to the wind farm diversion. Again, can't remember the name of that. So the wind farm road. That's wow. That's okay. That's the fastest you're ever going to see me riding a bike. It's not even my bike. Brilliant. Once, yeah, the wind farm diversion, the wind farm diversion will join back into the lower half of the edge, where there's a minor climb there up to another fire road, and then in theory head up the fire road to Nil Desperandum. Unfortunately, that is also cut off with the wind farm at the moment, or at least it was when I filmed this. I don't know what the situation is at the current time. I will look that up, and no, in fact, I won't look that up. Check it out on the TrailDog site. I will put that up once I know, because if I go and say yes, it's open in the next video, it might well just then shut again. So the best bet is to check out on the site when everything for A Forest is up, and you should have a better idea then, or I should have a better idea as well. Nil Desperandum itself, at the time of filming, which was June, May, June. It was earlier on this last year. The whole of Nildesbrandum is cut out, and there is a newer trail going straight up the hill from where the trail meets. Oh, that's another fast section. It's fun. It was fun. Oh my god, I'm living vicariously through my own videos. That's kind of sad, really. Anyway, if I can finish what I was trying to say. The diversion for Nildesbrandum goes straight up the hill. It's a new cut section. I think it was cut by SSE, maybe? Who are the people who are doing the wind farm? Maybe. Don't quote me on that. I'm not entirely sure. But that comes up to another fire road which runs up to the Talking Headstone. And that's another kind of annoying section, but it's, I don't know, by that time you're kind of a bit knackered, so it's okay. Anyway, A Forest, it's a nice, it's a really large one. You've got the water bay down in the middle in the valley, and I can honestly say I've got a good sense of direction. Usually I can figure out which way I'm heading. It's actually hard to describe without making it sound completely stupid. Best way I can describe it, I used to do transfer driving out in the Alps. I think it was winter 2009-2010, and even if I didn't know where I was going, for example, going through a town, traffic jam, I can visualize in my head where my destination is, and then kind of make up the route. As long as I can get roads that kind of head in that direction, usually I can find my way without a map, without knowing the area. It doesn't always work. I have there's one instance with my current job where they sent me out to get stock from another store, but failed to tell me where the store I was picking up from was, and completely lost in the countryside. And I knew it was a shopping centre. I knew it was over to the right of where I was heading. So I just took a few roads in that direction and found it. It's that kind of thing. There you go. It's a good sense of direction, I guess. So normally when I'm at a trail centre, I can say, right, I know that the trailhead is in that direction. The trail's starting to go that way, so we should be on the return leg. Had a bit of trouble with that one at Cannock Chase because it got a bit turned around there. It's a lot of little valleys heading down into a larger valley, and got a little turnaround. Wasn't 100% sure, and confused by the road noises bouncing off the hills. But I genuinely got lost. I'm not losing where the trail was, but losing the idea of which way the end was. So I did get kind of turned around. I think it was about Ramburn Batch where it happened. I have no idea where I was going with this conversation. It's interesting. Okay, brilliant. So A Forest, it's got some nice, well, first off, let's talk about how to get there. It's if you're heading up from England, you'll be coming up the M6, M74. It turns into the M74 just after Carlisle, Gretna. It used to be a really bad bit of road there. You head up the motorway, the M6 would stop at Carlisle. Then you'd have the M74 starting at Gretna, which is about 7 miles up the road from Carlisle. And in between it clustered down into a 2-lane dual carriageway. And there's so many accidents there. I think it used to be called the Cumberland Gap or something like that. And I think it's one of the few bits of road my dad actually claimed to be scared of. That and the big intersection of Preston, where it's quite easy to end up going to Preston, which is never a good thing. Anyway, if you're heading up the M74, you can come off at Gretna and head across the Dumfries and then north to A Forest. However, that means a bit of going through Dumfries and all that. It's not a fun town to go through. Your best bet is to head up as far as the Moffat and Annan junction. Come off there, I think it's junction 12? no, Junction 11? Might be. And then just head down the A701 until you see the signs off to the right. It's dead easy that way. And facilities here, it's one of the good ones. It's got a brand new visitor centre, cafe, serves good food, good. Oh, that looks fun.
Problems there.
It's a brand new centre. Good food at the cafe, fairly decent price as well. Showers, toilets, all you need, and there's a bike shop as well, which at the time of speaking and publishing is shut until February, I believe. So that's not there. There's other things. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please like, favourite, and subscribe, and I'll see you on Knock and Shang Road. Goodbye.